my hope, the only thing I have to give you is God, and that heaven is coming. I don't have hope outside of that. But the cool thing is, I think it's okay, because He's God. He made us. He designed us. He knows how this works. He wanted to fill this. When I started out on this journey of figuring this out for myself, I looked around and I saw all my friends, and I saw it in my own soul, and we were all just in knots. I could see it in people's eyes, they're just all tied up. And I saw it in myself. I was anxious and worried, and I cared about so much about people. And I knew I had believed in God for a long time. I believed in Jesus. I trusted Christ. And for a long time, I had probably articulated pretty well what that meant. And yet, I don't know that the insides of me looked any different than someone that didn't know God. I was stuck. And so I go to God on this exploration and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? And I realized that the things that I had believed about Him, maybe I didn't believe Him that deeply. See, I wasn't trusting Him. I was afraid. I was worried. I was trying to control my life. So when I'd read verses where Paul describes that we are crucified with Christ, he says, those of you that believe in Jesus, you died with Him. You laid out your life with Him. I wasn't willing to do that. It was too costly. And he goes on to say in Romans, but whoever has died, he's been set free. He's been set free. I want to be set free. I know that all of us want to be set free. That is the desire. But are we willing to hand God everything? Say, here's our life. Take everything in it. Take my hopes, take my dreams, take my expectations, take my rights. God, have all of it. All of it. That's when we find freedom, because we let go of what we think is going to make us happy, and it never does. We let go of that. And then God gets to step in and go, okay, now Jenny, we can work. Now we can do things. And He gets so loud and so real when you hand Him everything. I love the ocean. When I was a little girl, though, I was terrified of it. I walked up to it and I thought, it must go on forever. I remember thinking, there can't be land out there, or I would see it. See, nothing else on this planet reminds me more of God than the ocean. It just is so big. It's so powerful. It goes on forever and ever. See, I think one of our problems, probably our biggest problem, is we make Him so small. We might believe in Him, but we push Him down and stuff Him into our understanding so that we can control Him or control this life better. In John 15, God lays out how this massive God is going to work with me, how He's going to work with people. He lays it out and He says the foundation is going to be Jesus Christ. The foundation is going to be what He did when He died and He saved you from your sin. That will be what you walk on, because see, that's going to free you up to be forgiven and to live in grace and peace. So you don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to put on good works to impress me anymore, because I wasn't that impressed anyway. That's going to be the foundation. And then I'm going to fill you with my Spirit. I'm going to give you what you need so that you can do life, so that you can run this race full out. Run your guts out, because you're just here for a minute. And you're who I have. See, I'm going to, through you, produce fruit. I'm going to produce this stuff, and it's going to display my glory on this planet. That's our role, that we get to know God, be filled with Him, and display Him to this planet. It's so exciting. It is so what we were made for. most of my life, I feel like all I did was think about myself. Try to fix everything, try to make myself happy, and God had this plan, this huge, enormous thing that I was missing because I was trying to build a little life, like a grain of sand in light of all of this. What a waste. In Ephesians, he talks about, Paul again says, to know Christ, to know what he did for you, that he forgave you, that he died that death for you. To know Christ, the love that he has for you. How deep and wide and high and long that it is. To know that love is to be filled with the fullness of God. All those empty spaces, all those broken spaces, all that hurt that we have inside of us. See, knowing him gets filled up. To be filled with the fullness of God.